have not done any kind of update on this vehicle because if you can't tell, I'm flooring it. I'm going absolutely nowhere right now. So this is the update that no one asked for that you're gonna get. And this is what's going on with my 370Z right now. So this is my Nissan 370Z. This is a 2009, and if you guys saw my last video, you would see that it's complete now. It runs. I'm in a whole different area. I'm not at the shop. I know it's kind of weird and it's kind of stupid because I promised a whole series about rebuilding this thing, but unfortunately I don't work where I work anymore, and I don't know if I own the intellectual property to that footage. So this is it. This is everything done. Unfortunately, it's not running perfect. I still have issues and it makes me want to just, but we're still moving on. I still have some plans and there might be a huge change up, but for now, I figured it'd be pretty sick to go like front to back and show you guys like everything that's updated onto this car, just like I promised. I've been saying it multiple times on my Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. I've been upgrading it and showing you guys like what's been putting on, I can't English. I've been showing you guys what's been put on and keeping you guys in the loop, you know, with short form stuff. I love YouTube. YouTube has always been my baby, so I'm just gonna keep it pushing. But I mean, let's show you guys everything that's done. All right, let's start with the obvious. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh, I hate the whole mic thing. Like, shut up, it's not your video. But I'm gonna start with the obvious on my car, which is the exterior stuff. And I've had this hood since Georgia, and my Sabon hood, this is a GTR style hood. It's like the OEM GTR style. And I didn't want anything like super aggressive. I know the V, like the ones that has like the slits like shaped like a V is like the very common one. And it's not that like I want to be different and I care about like not having the same hood as a bunch of people, because there's not really many parts that are brand new anymore for the 370Z. The thing is that I wanted to have a more like simple, not as aggressive hood to match the overall look that I was going for, which then also goes into the fenders. So these are Sabon carbon fiber fenders, and these don't have like a super aggressive look like most other fenders. So the vent is nowhere near as aggressive as most fenders, and I wanted to keep it this way. And again, it's mainly because like with the plans that I have for this car and how I want it to look aesthetically, I didn't want the fenders and the hood to like overpower the look, because everything that I'm gonna add on from this point, except the wing is already like hella aggressive, but every extra mod that I'm gonna put onto this car is really gonna take the level of aggression on the look like a lot higher. So I needed something that was kind of a little bit subtle on the top to break it up and just make it flow a lot better. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll show you guys when it's done. But right now we're still in that stage where I need to get my piece of shit actually going properly. But I think it still ties in like really well together, you know what I mean? Like everything about this car, it's not like a lot of people's style, and I'm totally okay with that, because you know, it's not your car, it's my car. I don't know, I just really love how it flows so far. Now to tap on to something else, I've also had these Conseil Astros for what, a year and a half now. Shout out to the homie Keith for hooking me up with a good deal, and I think they look sick. I think they were the first 19s to come out, and I might have been the first 370Z with them mounted on, but I wasn't rolling, so it's not like I could get any cool shots back then. They are absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. They look sick. They tie in very well, but also moving into it, look at the carbon fiber blades. This is something else that I didn't really talk about on YouTube, but I talked about on TikTok and Instagram. And the homie Gregory actually hooked it up. He's the one that made those, and I'll link his Instagram down below if you want to get a set, because I didn't want to buy one from like another place that was going to take like 4 or 3 months to make them, because I don't believe they keep them in stock, and I'm not trying to wait that long. I'm super impatient. But the carbon fiber did not stop there. I went with an Alliance carbon mirror cap. Now, I'm not usually like a huge fan of mirror caps because, you know, it's just stuck on instead of it being a full replacement. But right now, that's just like, that's what would work. I'm not really, I still do think they look really sick for what they are, you know, just being a little stick-on cap, and the quality was awesome. I just want to run through this real quick because I don't want to make an entire video just about like a build breakdown. But as you can see, it also has the 9 Lives Racing wing. Sick. Like I've had this now for, I'm going on to year 2. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to like track this car yet with the wing on, because ever since I got the wing, there was always like some kind of issue. And unfortunately, I blew up my VR30 motor that was in here previously before we can really put this thing to the test. But it makes a ton of downforce. It's actually functional. I personally think it's a sick add-on for anybody who's trying to take their car on track and then actually have functional downforce. So I think it's dope, but it just looks sick. It's hella aggressive. It just looks dope. I mean, even if you just want it for the aesthetic, I really do think it's a sick add-on. And I know that this is something that I just breezed right by. I should have shouted out, but I also have the Morimoto taillights and also the Morimoto headlights. I'm starting to feel like it's a must-have mod for the 370Z, but mainly because it just brings it back to life. Like, it goes from looking like something dated, like, you know, back in 2009 and 10, because these used to have like the clear housings, but this one's a black one. So, and obviously it's a lot brighter and stuff. When I lived in Georgia, when I was in Carrollton, this was like a lifesaver because there are no lights on the side of that street. Young man ain't trying to die early, you know what I'm saying? So I was super stoked to get this on the car, and you know, it's functional. The interior, the only thing I'm gonna talk about is the D&D steering wheel. This thing is held up super well, but let me just open this up. I don't want to, I mean, dude, there is not much to talk about. I mean, I have a strut brace, but this car is like hella cluttered. It looks bad. The Tesla screen looks dope. I actually love this thing. And then, like I said, the D&D steering wheel is held up for 3 years now. I've been rocking this one since the VR30 swap, and it just hasn't deteriorated. And it's been sitting in the sun this whole time, and it just has not died out. So it's funny because when I worked at one of my old employers, people were making fun of the steering wheel, but this thing is actually lasting longer than some like very reputable brands. So, I mean, I have to give D&D their flowers. They really did build a really, really good perforated leather steering wheel. And to my knowledge, because Bella's sponsored by them, they have some new stuff coming in, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But I mean, I don't want to tap into the interior. This seat sucks. I want to change this. It is not comfortable at all, but it's a fixed bucket seat, so it's doing its job. It's not that it's bad, it's just like, you know, I've had issues with this thing and it's just super uncomfortable. Even with the cushion on here, it was just not the type of seat that I would want to buy. But am I gonna bash them as a company? No, it's just Carbo is like, you know, it's a budget kind of seat, so whatever, you get what you pay for. And then moving on to the back, this was also something that I got help from my old employer, which is the Sabon carbon fiber hatch. So, you know, I had to replace the glass and everything, and the hatch is on, but I mean, you know, everybody was so like giving me hell. Oh, that looks sick. Everybody was giving me hell about mounting this wing onto a carbon fiber hatch, and unfortunately I broke this, so I have to get a new one. I mean, it needs to be cleaned and everything. It's just literally been sitting in my garage this whole time, but I mean, it's self-explanatory. Carbon fiber hatch. I don't know how much weight it actually saves versus the OEM one, but I do remember that the OEM one was slightly bit heavier. It's aluminum, you know, so it's not like the weight savings is going to be a massive amount, but also I could be talking out of ignorance because I didn't actually weigh it, so I'm not even sure. And honestly, I might have missed something, but that's the update. Oh, let's talk about the engine. So again, I got to give flowers when due. So at my last employer, he did hook me up with the Z1 intakes, so I definitely needed that to get the car going. I had 0 intakes, and he was a big help with that, and then also the manifolds that are in here. He gifted that to me, and I appreciate it. Unfortunately, how things went down, whatever, but I do appreciate, obviously, the help that I got to get this thing going, because between the labor of him and Jackson, the homie, like helping me put this back together, there was no way I was gonna do this by myself quickly. So they were huge help, got me through the finish line, awesome. I'm never gonna take away the flowers for that. But it really is just a simple 3.7 setup. There's literally nothing special about this build other than the fact that, and that's such a loose word to use, build. Like, there's literally nothing built about it, but I do have an Alliance Carbon strut brace, which is really sick. Like, this is one of those mods that I was really stoked on, and you know, he wants us to test this out because, you know, we want to make sure that it's actually like sturdier than OEM. So I want to take this to either Grid Life or somewhere else to take it on track and actually see if I can break this thing. But that would be some time from now, not immediate. This car has been running like absolute dog shit, and it's mainly because of the V-Vel. And one thing I don't miss is V-Vel. Like, whoever made V-Vel at Nissan, like, I'm sure it was super sick on paper and it makes sense, and maybe it does. Maybe it's just me being a weenie, but I mean, the 3.7 is sick when it's working and it's awesome and it holds good power, but it's like, man, going from the VR30 to the reliable VQ and then running into my issues that I'm sure I could solve and fix soon, but I really do think I'm gonna put another motor in here, and I know people are gonna be like, stop doing that, but hear me out. I have a plan, I'm working with Widerin on something, and it just makes sense. But I mean, that's what's going on. It's not really like the best update. It sucks because, like I said, there was supposed to be a lot more going on, but you know, circumstances changed, and you know, change of jobs and stuff like that. So then it kind of like shifted what I want to actually do, and I don't have to stick with all Nissan, which is like not a bad thing. As much as I love the brand and everything, I'm always super down to try new things. Hence why the VR30 was such an awesome swap and it worked out for me. But yeah, man, that's just where we stand. Like, this thing is pretty damn cool. I mean, it's moving, so that's a huge plus. You know, the car is just not running right. It's in limp mode every time I'm driving. Like, I can't go past like 8 or 10 miles per hour. It's just like all weird, and it might be just the sensors need to be clocked properly, because I know that's an actual issue whenever you motor swap a 3.7 and the ECU is looking for certain parameters, and it just might not be matching. So I'll look into that, and just, it's literally like 210s, I think, and like clocking it. I know some people get like tired of this, but it's a typical YouTuber thing. Like, if you guys like the video and want to support, because I'm no longer my old employer, like the format that I do and things, like I just want to have fun, drop some memes, like hang out with the homies. And also, speaking of hanging out with the homies, like follow along, hit the subscribe button. A long time goal of mine was to hit 10K, and then I went so ham on like taking care of other people's social media that I never went hard on my own. So now's a new time, and I'm in California now. It's very beautiful, very awesome. I met a lot of cool people, but just support the homie. But I still got something cool to do. Funny enough, I recorded a video earlier at Rap Legends, so I'll drop that in here because I literally lost his camera at their shop. So here's me picking it up, hanging out with Rap Legends, Gary, and Gary from Hoonigan and the homies. Like, just good vibes. So yeah. Gary, can I film your car? Is it like secrets? Yeah, look at this beautiful chocolate man, dude. I came up, pulled up, didn't know he, ooh, so sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hype up your friends, you know what I mean? But look at it, he's got his GTR over here, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Wait, this is an actual true GTR, right? Not like a GTR.
No, it's a real GTR, I just don't have a front prop shaft. So it has front axles, the crank, everything. Since my gear ratio is different from the front, I can mess up a lot of things, so it's rear-wheel drive most of its life. All of its life I've had it. It did come with an all-wheel drive, like OS Geiken and all that, but they sold it. But they didn't know I was going to buy it. And they were like, hey, we know you were going to buy the car. We would have gave you all the stuff with it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, okay, hurt my feelings, whatever.
Right.
But this thing is tight. I've been seeing it in the shop for a minute, and I did not expect to see Gary here, but okay, bye, Gary. Bye, love you, bye. I'm going to end the video here because, whoa, why am I yelling?
Hey, you're turning into me.
I know.
He's picking up my habits, folks.
Okay, well.
He's picking the Rap Legends habits up.
I'm gonna end the video here, but thank you guys for watching. No one cares. Wow, all right, I'm just gonna end the video here. Oh yeah, who do you like, Drake or Kendrick?
100% Kendrick. Always been Kendrick. Hey, y'all, man. What?
You were invited to the cookout, and you are not allowed to bring a dish.
Who you got, Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
My man, dog. K-Dog all the way.
Hey, listen. I've always liked both, but it's one of those things. It's like a drag racer pretending to drift. Like, just stick to drag racing, bro. Do what you do best.
Yeah, you like that singing shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I do like that singing shit.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I'm soft like Drake, but I'm like lyrically smart like Kendrick in the sense like when I talk shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't no thug, you know what I mean? But I like to, you know, like throw it down, romance him, you know what I mean? Not like R. Kelly, but
yeah, I wouldn't go to a professional roaster and try to roast him knowing what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you'll need a writer for it.
Yeah. Shout out Ray for putting out content again.
Yeah, dude, we're back, dog. Like, thank you. I appreciate that.
You got like a channel?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel,
really?
dog. Dude, I got like 8,000 subscribers.
Really?
Yeah.